guys. This is a lot of information we're going to cover today. Don't be too hard on yourself if you're not processing everything immediately. I didn't process all of these things immediately. These are things that I've learned over years from being in business. But I do want y'all to go out and be great, and so make sure you take good notes so you can go back to your notes and apply these. This is all about getting yourself in front of people who want to buy your products and who want to buy your services, okay? All right, y'all. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome to Targeting 101. We are covering online and offline basics today. Hey, y'all, hey. If you do not know, I'm Ms. Ashley Ann. I'm going to be your trainer, a.k.a. your facilitator for today. How many of you guys were actually told you get yourself in as many places as possible, and you want everybody to know who you are? You want everybody to know what your products and your services are. You want everybody, to know, and so whenever they think of you or when they think that they may need your services, you're the first person on their mind. That is what I was taught, okay? And I had to spend a lot of money to be taught that, okay? My graduate degree was not cheap. It was not cheap at all. It cost me several thousands and thousands of dollars. So anyway, so I was out here doing everything that they taught me, y'all. I was on mailers. I was on Craigslist. I was doing coupons. I was sponsoring events. I was going to networking stuff. I was on pizza boxes. I even did the Yellow Pages, which is really stupid, and I went against my instincts because y'all know, well, some of y'all don't. My very first company is an event design and production company. It's my longest running company. I still own that company. I love it. I still love doing events and design and all of that. It's something I'm very passionate about outside of helping people build their businesses. And so think about it. Who goes into the phone book looking for an interior designer or an event designer or a wedding planner? Nobody. That's somebody that you ask for from word of mouth. But I caved into the pressure, someone said, oh, Yellow Pages are great, blah, 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 blah. And I'll be honest, y'all, when I started my business, the Yellow Pages were really on their way out back then. That's when people were really making the switch over to, mobile and really using Google and the internet to search for things. So, and y'all, I don't have any of y'all ever ran an ad in the Yellow Pages? It's expensive, okay? I believe that my commitment was like $6,500 to be listed in the Yellow Pages. That wasn't even like a big full-page ad at the front of the phone book. This was like a eighth of a page and to be listed in there, to be listed in there throughout the year. So anyway, just really stupid, because I'm thinking I got to get my name out here to all of these people, not really thinking about, well, when people are looking for people that do what I do, how do they find us, right? All of y'all know my crazy story about the church fans, and me not realizing that it's a negative correlation with me, right? Whenever you break out a fan in church, it's because people are hot or they're in distress, right? Or possibly they're at a funeral and they're grieving. So, yeah, there's my beautiful pictures for my events, but you don't want people to be correlating your company with negative emotional experiences, right? Again, I was green. I didn't know any better. And it was like $3,500 for me to be on these stupid church fans with a lot of people who didn't even care about what I did, or some of them that did see value in what I did, they couldn't afford the services. So I was mass marketing, and it was not working. I was sponsoring all kinds of events that a lot of my audience people were not at, and at the end of the day, this was putting me on the struggle bus because I was expending literally thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars every month on marketing campaigns and things, and just throwing all kinds of stuff out there. TV commercials, radio ads, newspaper ads, just all kinds of stuff. And at the end of the day, it was not getting me my client that I was after. So one day I made this magical post on Facebook. I wasn't really expecting too much of it. I just put the post out there. I didn't really get too much to happen from the post. I don't even think I got 10 likes on this post. And then I made another one, and I maybe got like 8 or 9 more likes, nothing that was major. But finally, on the third post that I made about my event, somebody inboxed me. It was a wedding that I did. And then from the wedding, someone inboxed me, and they said, hey, do you do birthday parties? And it was a pretty substantial client that I picked up. And that's when the little light bulb went off for me in my head, because I didn't have to spend thousands of dollars to put this post on Facebook. But yet, because I was able to showcase my work, there was someone who was able to find me and ask me, could I do their event? And then Snapchat came along, and Pinterest, and Periscope, and Instagram, and LinkedIn, and I continued the same pattern. So that's what really got me. That's what really got me to thinking. That's what really turned on my brain to targeting. At the time, I still don't think I realized that I was targeting. But y'all, targeting, simply put, is putting your services and your products in front of people who have an interest in them. So you're not out here trying to mass market. You're trying to find that community. You're trying to find that group. You're trying to find those hobbyists, those moms, those joggers, those runners, those fat people, right, who need to lose weight. We're trying to find those people who are juicers, those naturalists, those people who believe in stones and crystals and the universe and God. You're trying to find whoever it is in your niche, right, those mentalists, people who want to be able to move things with their mind, whatever it is. You're just looking for little pockets and communities of people and making sure that that community knows that you exist. We don't care if anyone else in the world knows that we exist. We need to make sure that group of people knows that you exist. That's all that targeting is about. And social media was the easiest way for me to start targeting. And then once I learned what I was doing in social media, I was able to take and apply those same tips to offline and become a much more effective targeter at that point. So people always ask me, the next thing is, well, I do this or I do that, and I'm not sure what you do if it'll work for me. I think what I do works for any business or any operation, to be honest. So this is just like a short list of different types of companies I've helped. So hotels, restaurants, DJs, caterers, other wedding and event planners, people who sell Herbalife, other coaches, fitness trainers, bloggers, pastors, churches, musical artists, other people who are artists and they use the mediums of maybe like sculpture, painting, stuff like that. I have YMCAs that are our clients, landscapers, makeup artists, real estate investors, people who flip, people who are agents, beach body coaches, Rodan and field consultants, Arbonne, Avon, domestic violence shelters, hairstylists, hair care companies, doctors, recruiting firms, authors, online and offline boutiques, cosmetic companies, Zeal, other event planners and coordinators, other social media strategists actually take a lot of my courses, and I coach a lot of them as well. So I've helped all kinds of people, okay? So what exactly did I help people do? Basically, I help you guys strategically define your audience, and so we're going to be working on that today. Then once we define your audience, you got to attract the audience, so I help people do that. And typically, my clients are generating an average of 15 leads per week. And so for most people, that equates to anywhere from $2,000 to $12,000 per week in additional revenue. When I work with really large companies, because they have really humongous networks of people, their leads are worth quite a bit more. And they go from, instead of 15 leads, maybe closer to $1,500 a week. And so that equates anywhere from like $20,000 all the way up to sometimes $500,000. But most of you guys and gals who are in here, the $2,000 to $12,000 mark is a realistic expectation, and you can get there a lot sooner than you would believe. You would be amazed at what you can do in 90 days. You will be amazed at what you can do with this information in 6 months, and you will be amazed at where you can see your business changing to in a year. So how many of y'all in here, could come up with to use an extra $2,000, or maybe extra $2,500 every week? That's like an extra $10,000 a month, and it's really not that hard. Okay, really not that hard to get to. So anyway, I knew that I was able to start teaching targeting because I realized I knew something other marketers did not know. I was going through these courses with these people that I pretty much idolized. They were my teachers. They were the only people that I could find that knew a little bit of information about online business, and they were willing to share the information that they knew about online business. And they taught me that I needed to have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people on my list in order to be able to make, a good hustle, make a good living at with my internet business and my online marketing. But the very first list I put together only had a couple hundred people on it, and I made $30,000 from that list. So I was like, was this a fluke, or did I do something really well? And then I put together another list didn't have that many people on it, and I cleared, I think it was $19,000 at the time. And then I tried it with a couple of my friends, and they were like, I made $8,000, I made $10,000, I made $45,000. So that's when I knew I really knew something, and it was because of the targeting. Because instead of just trying to build these humongous lists of people where you're just trying to get anybody on your list, anybody just, sign up. I want anybody on my list that I can talk to. I want to have 100,000 followers, that are looking at me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. I started just trying to find high-quality people who really had a genuine interest in whatever it was that I was offering. And that has taken my business, to all kinds of different levels, and I think it's going to do the same for you guys. So how am I doing this? First thing, you got to understand your audience, right? And we're going to cover that today. Then realize inside of the United States, people spend an average of 125 minutes a day on social media. That's a lot of time, y'all. That's over 2 hours every day that people are spending between Facebook and Instagram and pictures and Periscope and YouLive and whatever else they're on, okay? That's 2 hours every day. That's 10 hours a week. That's 40 hours a month, okay? And that's just if we're calculating Monday through Friday. This is not including what people are doing on the weekend. And so because of this, I realize that means that there are literally millions of people every day who are looking for you. They're looking for your services. They're looking for your products. They just don't know about you. So we got to make sure that we find them and that we become friends with them, right? So, thestruggle.com. How many of y'all in here are struggling with getting the word out about your business? If you're having a struggle with getting the word out about your business, just hit me with the number 1. No shame in it. I think all of us have been there and trying to brainstorm and find out how do I get myself in front of other people, right? And I think that that's a part of business. I think that's something that everyone has to deal with at some point in time with inside of their businesses and their companies, right? Or even once you've gotten the word out about your business, especially you guys who are in MLM, or if you're network marketers, someone always brings you in and they say, your friends and your family are your first customers. Well, honey, they may be your first customers, but they're not going to be customers who are going to give you longevity. And strangers make you rich, not your friends and family, okay? And your friends and family are only buying from you because some of them want to support you, some of them want to be nice to you. They're not buying because they really have a true love of these products and services. So even if you have an initial audience or initial group of people to sell to, you're going to learn sooner than later you have to be able to continue to grow your audience. You have to continue to be able to grow that network of people. Then how many of you guys are struggling with finding enough time to use social media? Give me the number 2 if this is your struggle. I've talked to a lot of people. They say that social media is intimidating to them, that it's overwhelming to them. They're not sure how you keep up with being split in all these different places. And I have a big confession for everybody and a big secret. You don't split yourself into multiple places. What we do is we find out what platforms our audience members are on. So, and you got to figure out what you like. So if you know you like Instagram and you hate Snapchat, well, don't force yourself to be on Snapchat. Even though I love Snapchat and I think Snapchat is a wonderful way to to connect, to meet, a younger crowd, a younger demographic. If you hate Snapchat, y'all, and you don't understand it, don't get on it because you're going to have a miserable time at it, right? And if most of your client base is 38 and up, guess what? They're probably not on Snapchat either. They probably don't want anything to do with Snapchat, so you shouldn't be there. So I encourage everybody to only try and find 2 social media platforms that you like and 2 social media platforms where your audience is going to be at, and that's what you work. And that's how you connect with people, and that's how you build your audience, and that's how you make your sales, okay? That's going to help you a lot with this struggle of trying to find enough time to do all these things. And once you master those, then you integrate other social media platforms. So keep me in mind. For instance, when I started off, I started with Facebook. There wasn't an Instagram yet. YouTube was around, but YouTube wasn't popular the way it is now. There wasn't a Snapchat invented yet 11 years ago. And I've never been a big fan of Twitter. So Twitter was popping back then, but I just couldn't get into Twitter, so I didn't mess with it. I still don't mess with Twitter now to this day, and some of y'all know that about me. Like, I do my bare minimum, right? I make tweets now. That just started for me about a year and a half ago, that I actually tweet on a consistent basis. Before then, I didn't do it. So anyway, you can find enough time if you're not overwhelming yourself. And once you find those one or two things that you like, then if you want to integrate other platforms, you integrate those other platforms, okay? A lot of people struggle with what to post on social media. Y'all, believe it or not, your posts have everything to do with your targeting. Whenever you're posting content that your audience can relate to, that they like, that's informative to them or inspirational or motivational, or something that gives them a laugh, anything that's like that, that is going to help you pick up other people who are actually wanting to be, you know, a part of whatever it is that you have going on. And then y'all give me the number 4 if you're having trouble getting people to actually buy your products and services. I talk to a lot of people, and they tell me, you know, I have an audience. I have people that like my stuff. I meet people outside. They seem interested. They take my card. I'm booking tons of discovery calls. I'm booking tons of consultations, but I can't actually get people to buy. And if you're having this problem, guess what? It ain't no shame in that, okay? No shame. We're gonna talk about some of those things today, because if we get better at targeting, you're going to, by default, you're going to get people who want to buy your products and services. If I'm already interested in it, already need help with it, and you provide a solution for me, right, I want to buy it because this is what I've been looking for, okay? So targeting solves a lot of these problems. And how about finding enough money to promote and advertise? That was my struggle. I was struggling with a lot of these, but that was a big struggle for me, y'all. When you're spending, you know, $15,000, $16,000 and you're a small company and you're spending that much every month just trying to advertise, this isn't including my rent or, you know, paying my team or a light bill or the heating or transportation or travel. This is just literally just trying to advertise and promote. Y'all, it was a stress. It was a stress on me, and I was burning through the money in my savings account quick, okay? And I was putting cash out a lot faster than cash was rolling in, right? So giving people the ability, trying to find the money to promote and advertise, because I did not have people who were buying, so it didn't give me money to continue to put into that budget. So targeting fixed this for me, because once I learned where my audience was, y'all, I stopped spending money on Yellow Page ads. I stopped spending money, you know, on pizza boxes and mailers and church fans, because it made no sense for me to spend the money on it, because my people who I was trying to get to, they weren't looking at any of those mediums anyway. They weren't there. They weren't in those buildings. They weren't flipping through those magazines. So once you really can figure out where your audience is, you will all of a sudden find more money that you can promote and advertise with, because now your dollars are not being wasted, okay? So let's go ahead and get off the struggle bus, all right? Let's go on and get off. Yes, we need them coins, Regina.